My dad makes the best Indian curries and I'm going to share one of his favourite recipes with you. This is his lamb curry. Now he usually uses lamb shoulder pieces, but I'm actually going to be using some lamb chump chops. Full of flavour. You can see there's a little bit of bone and a little bit of fat, and that's what makes this such a delicious Moorish curry. So it's totally your decision on what type of lamb. Let's start the base of the curry. So I like to start it with a little ghee. We need about 1/4 cup of ghee. So a couple of generous spoonfuls of that goes in. Ghee is a clarified butter, so it heats up well without burning. It's also got a beautiful flavour. So in with that, and we'll turn the heat on. And whenever you're making Indian curries, always start with the whole spices. So I've got some cinnamon stick. Look at these long, flat cinnamon sticks, full of flavour, so that can go in. And we want to toast it in that ghee because we're going to extract as much flavour out of it once it hits the warmth there. I've also got 2 bay leaves that can go in at this stage. I've got fresh, you could also use dry. Some cardamom pods. I've got a generous amount of them. I love the flavour of cardamom pods. It's got that almost anise, woody flavour to it. And you can see I've just bruised and broken them open to extract more flavour too. So they can go in, along with some whole peppercorns, and I've just crushed them too. And already you can start to smell all of those lovely spices. All right, this is looking good, so we can add the onions. 2 onions that have been chopped. And we want to coat them in that delicious ghee. To this, I'll add some ginger and garlic paste. You want about 1 tablespoon of it. And we'll just add that in there. So quite a lot of it. An Indian curry is never complete without that ginger and garlic taste to it. And then again, we're just going to fry that off so all of those flavours can mingle. Now, let's talk about some more spices. I've got some very traditional spices here. It looks like quite a lot, but a lot of these you'll have in your pantry. We've got a combination of cumin, ground coriander, some garam masala, turmeric, and some chilli powder. Now, the amount of chilli powder really depends on how hot you want this. So I want mine to be medium. So I've got about a teaspoon, a little bit less than a teaspoon. If you're my dad, he adds 2. So it depends on how hot you want your curry. All right, this is looking good. So we can now add our ground spices. There we go. And again, just like our whole spices, we want to toast that off to extract their wonderful characteristics. Now, a curry without salt is a crime. It needs salt so you really taste everything. So a good pinch of salt in there. And we will season again when we add the lamb. Okay, that's looking good. In with some tomatoes. I've just got some crushed canned tomatoes. You could also use fresh. Cook that off. And I'm going to add some more chilli now, but this is a long green chilli. So I'm going to use half of it now and the rest I'm going to use to garnish. I'm just going to thinly slice it into rounds. These long green chillies are sweeter and milder than the small bullet chillies. I also like that green colour for the garnish later on. So we'll add some now. Stir that through. And we'll need some more liquid in here. So 1/4 cup of natural yoghurt. It's about half of this. You can serve the rest as a side if you like. We'll stir that in, and to really make this into a lovely gravy, some water. Okay, now for the all-important lamb chump chops. We're going to add them in. There's no need to seal them off beforehand. We'll just place them into the liquid, and this needs to cook on a medium to low heat for about an hour or until that lamb is super tender. I'll also add another pinch of salt. Lid goes on, and we'll just let it cook nicely. All right, it smells fantastic in here. The curry's ready. I've just prepared some naan. I think it takes about 2 to 3 minutes in the oven. Come and have a look at this. Oh, fantastic. The meat is tender. And see how there's just a little bit of that fat on the top? That is a good sign of a well-cooked curry. Got a nice generous bowl here. It's kind of one of those curries you put in the middle of the table. And by all means, make this a day or two ahead because it'll taste even better. You can even freeze this and reheat it, so it's totally up to you. And be generous with all of this gravy over the top. And that is served with the naan on the side. We'll just cut them in half. Oh, lovely, fluffy and soft. And just to finish off the dish and dress it up, just some extra natural yogurt. We'll just drizzle that over the top, just a tiny bit. And that long green chilli that I was reserving, finely slice. Again, it's not too hot, it's actually quite mild, but the beautiful thing about Indian food is it's not just about the one curry. You can be super adventurous with it. It doesn't have to stop at just that main curry. If you've got some pickles and some chutneys in your pantry, bring them out, serve them on the side, loads of rice. That's my version of Dad's lamb curry. I think he'd approve of that.